I couldn't have found a better demonstration about why you need to rehab your house before you put it on the market. Okay, so I found these two houses that came on the market right about the same time, within like a week of each other. And they are right next door to each other, which is like, makes it a perfect demonstration for this. And one of them, as you'll see, is completely rehabbed. The other one is not rehabbed. It's not bad, but it's not rehab. It's out of date, old, right? And so if we take a look at it, and even in this one here, you'll see it says right there in the description, everyone loves grandma's house. Okay, well, what does that tell you? It tells you right off the bat that, okay, this one's probably going to need a little bit of work, and that's important to understand. We'll talk about that in just a second. But let's take a look at it. Let's see what's going on. So first of all, they've been on the market for 29 days. Wait a minute, it's a seller's market. I thought houses were flying off the shelf. 29 days in a seller's market. They've been on the market, and it's currently still active. They're asking $1,180,000. The price per square foot is $424.16, and this is important to note. It's a 5-bedroom. The other house you'll see is only a 4-bedroom. This one has a 3-car attached garage. The only one only has 2, and there's a big distinction between the two, and we'll make a comparison. So it's really important to see this. Let's look at some pictures real quick just to kind of see. I mean, it's not bad. It's clean. It's well cared for. So this flooring here, original flooring from 1964. And I know this because I know these houses. This is original. And again, it's not bad. It's original, I guess, if you like vintage. They added some can lights, but that's about it. And like you can see, it's in good condition as far as presentation and all that stuff. But original kitchen. That's so funny because this hood is actually the original hood from 1964 as well. Wood paneling, that sort of thing. They might have replaced the countertop at one point in time, but for the most part, it is all original. And yeah, it looks like Formica countertops. So, but again, you look at it and you go, it's not so bad. It's in good shape. It's well taken care of. And I'm not going to go through all these pictures. You guys can look up the property if you want to and see it. And if you want to go see it, let me know. I'll be happy to show it to you. But let's take a look. So, oh yeah, well, here are bathrooms. So, yeah, original Formica countertops and original cabinets. I know this for a fact that these are original cabinets. Let's see here. Let's just go real quick. Yeah, backyard. So, nothing spectacular about the backyard. It's got grass. So there you go. That's what we're looking at right here. It looks like this might be, this is the garage. It might have had an it had an add-on put in the back, and that's what they're counting as the 5th bedroom. Okay, so let's look at the other property. Let's take a look at this one that was completely rehabbed. So when we look at this property, okay, again, now remember the other one's asking $1,180,000. This one is asking $1,525,000, and it's already in escrow. It says 21 days on market, but it's because they put it in the status of active under contract. So in other words, they have an escrow, but they're open to getting other offers, just in case. But when I checked the history on this, 2 days the house sold. And actually, if you take a look at this one, the price increased from $1,475,000 to $1,525,000. So what does that tell you? This one's only 4 bedrooms. The other one's 5. This one is, has a pool. This one only has a 2-car attached garage. The other one had 3. So definitely some comparisons. Look at the pictures real quick here, so you can see they just did a amazing job. They put turf out front, looks like, so that's good. I drive by it frequently. New front door. Everything's gorgeous, crystal clean. Light, bright, open, all these windows and everything back here replaced with these designer doors, new flooring. I mean, everything just completely redone. Looks amazing. And this house does have a pool. I will tell you that because I know that's the case. But yeah, look, it's an all marble, or it looks like a marble countertops, designer stove, all that stuff, right? So this is important to note because wait a minute, this house is what, $345,000 more for fewer bedrooms, fewer garage, and it sold in 2 days, where the other one's been on the market now for 29 days and hasn't sold. Okay, so let's kind of do a little side-by-side comparison so we really have those numbers there. So again, house A, asking $1,180,000. They reduced their price. They still haven't sold it. Reduced from $1,225,000, not rehabbed, 29 days, not sold. $424.16 per square foot versus $533.96 per square foot. Okay, that's a big difference. $109 roughly difference. Pretty close to 110. This one has more bedrooms. This one has more. House A has more garage. This one doesn't have a pool or 2-story. And honestly, the pool and the 2-story versus 1-story doesn't justify making that big of a difference in the price. I can tell you that right now. Been doing this for a long time. That doesn't make it because it's a personal preference. And House A is even offering a higher commission to the other agents, to the buyer's agents, to bring a buyer, which they still haven't sold by even trying to incentivize the agents. Over here on House B, sold in 2 days, and they were offering 2% to the buyer's agents versus the 2.5%. So buyer's agents got paid less, as a percentage. So, and then let's take a look. So let's do a comparison here. I'm going to go off the assumption that there's no loan balance. Let's do that so we can compare apples to apples. I don't know what the loan balances are. These are not my listings. So loan balance, 0. Rehab cost on House A, grandma's house. They didn't do any rehab, not that I'm aware of, but let's just assume that they did, and it's just nice, neat, clean, kept up well. Rehab cost on the other one, I'm going to, again, assuming $150,000. $150,000 on rehab. Closing costs in Orange County, California, closing costs estimate roughly about 1%. Okay, so we'll just use 1% as that number, and you can see the difference here. Here they're paying $11,800 for closing costs. That's title and escrow and recording fees and all the other third-party services that are involved. This one, $1,525,000 at 1%. They're paying more. They're paying $15,250 versus the $11,800. I'm going to use my commission structure because I don't know what those listing agents used as their commission structure. But we only charge a 1% listing side fee. And so in this scenario, the 1% listing side would have only been $11,800. If agents are charging more, then figure out whatever that number is. On this one, higher price. So it would have been $15,250. On the buyer side, we always like to offer 2.5 to the buyer's agents. So if we do that, it's $29,500 versus $38,125. So much higher costs and fees on the House B with all the rehab work done. But when we take a look at the bottom line, the proceeds for House A would work out to be about $1,126,900. $1,126,900 versus $1,306,375. Difference of $179,000. $179,000. What a difference that makes. What can you do with that? Well, I tell you what, that's for sure your down payment on your next house. Especially if you're moving out of state or something like that, that is a big chunk of money. And this is after all the rehab costs, after all the closing costs and commissions and fees and all that stuff. So again, my question goes back to, why wouldn't you rehab your house before you sell? And let's consider this. I've talked about this in other videos. Let's talk about buyer financing and their financial position as far as qualifying for a loan. Most buyers, especially in this price range, they're qualifying for their maximum amount so that they can get into that house. And most buyers, even though it's $1 million, everybody thinks, well, if you're buying $1 million house, you must be rich and you got all kinds of cash laying around. And I hope that's the case. But most of them are probably buying and they don't have $150,000 laying around to go and spend on rehabbing a house now. And now the house that they just bought, they're not able to move into for several months because they have to do all this rehab, which means they also now have the expense of keeping the place that they were living in long enough for this rehab work to be done. However, in order to buy that house, maybe they needed to sell that house to buy this house, which makes it a no-go, right? Buyers will walk away from a house that is in need of update and repair, and they'll go buy another house that might even be smaller, have fewer amenities if it's just dialed in, and they'll actually pay more for it because they don't have to worry about it. They can just sell their house and move in, right? So definitely this is something that you need to consider. And you can see at the top here, it says rehab your house with zero upfront cost. Why wouldn't you? We have a program where we're working with our contractors. They will come out. They will do all the rehab work. It doesn't matter how big or small. You need somebody to come in and do a little handyman work, they'll do it. You need a new roof. You need all new windows. You need a bathroom addition just to make it that one extra bathroom so that it stands out. Of course, all the regular stuff, flooring, paint, kitchens, bathrooms, demo, landscaping, curb appeal. You need curb appeal. Oh my gosh. These guys will make people pull up to the front of your house and jump out of the car because they can't wait to get in and see it, because curb appeal is a big, big deal. So there's no upfront costs, and there's no hidden fees. This is the key. So like a lot of people have tried to do this in the past and they go, well, yeah, sure. Okay, we're going to do this, but there's some hidden fee and you got to write a check and you got to do all that stuff. No hidden fees. The cost that these contractors charge are the same as if you were to go to somebody else. The only difference is they will do it and wait for the house to sell before they get paid. Okay. There's no interest, because if you think about it, the contractor is financing the transaction, right? They're or the rehab. They're financing the rehab, but they're happy to do it. These guys are big enough where they go, we've got the money. We can do it. It's not going to hurt us. And they're not going to charge you interest on that. There's no income required. One of the big challenges I run into with home sellers is they say, Anthony, man, we'd like to rehab, but I can't qualify for, that loan. Or, there's no way it's going to work. Or maybe it's a trust or a probate sale where a family member comes in and they're taking charge of the house and they go, you know what? I don't have $150,000 to pull out of my pocket to rehab this house. And when in this scenario, they could have gotten $179,000 more for the heirs of the estate if they could only have rehab, but they couldn't, so they end up dumping it. So this is what's so great about this: no income required and no credit checks. So you don't have to, it's not like you have to qualify for the program. That's the cool thing. You don't have to qualify for the program. You just call me and you say, Anthony, what the heck? So, come tell me what's the difference between what I would get if I rehabbed versus if I just sold it as is. Okay. And I'll run those numbers for you and I'll just tell you, hey, this is what it is. And you can make a decision on what that would look like for you. And then is it worth it? Sometimes it's, I should say, almost all the time it's worth it. There are some times when it's just not, right? It's not that big enough of a margin, depending on the existing condition of your house. So no credit checks or anything. Guys, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. Okay. So you want to find out more? There's the number. Just call me. Happy to talk to you about it. Happy to show you how it works. Happy to show you why the contractors are happy to do this and wait to get paid after the fact. And another, we joke about this, but we're like, oh yeah, because people go, oh well, there must be extra fees. They must inflate the cost. They must add extra cost to the labor and things like that That's how they're willing to do it. And the answer is no, that's not how they're willing to do it. The costs are going to be almost identical to every other contractor that you have out there. And we encourage you, go get a quote from another contractor. But you have to ask them, are you willing to do it completely upfront and not get paid a dime until escrow closes? That's the difference. Okay. So anyways, you got questions about it, happy to talk to you. Love this program and love doing this for my clients, and we will talk to you really soon. Just give me a call. Take care.
Popping up on the screen or by phone, the link here or in the description, we have more helpful videos about selling your house, whether you're in the Tustin area or not. It's all relevant. My name is Anthony Nitz. I'm with eXp Realty in Orange County, California, and I'm happy to serve. Thanks for watching.